Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show.
Welcome. It is Wednesday. And from what I understand, Rob, it is a degree where you are right now. And I literally mean a degree. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. 1 degree.
Wow. At least you have a degree. That's good. I'm glad it's not zero.
And Josh is in frickin' sunny California,
Yeah,
probably about 70 degrees.
it's exactly what it is. And I'm very comfortable right where I am. Welcome, everyone. It is the ITC and Paranormal Podcast. We are streaming live to Live Paranormal and the Parawakening. Welcome to all of our friends and family. Vitrina, Julie, Michelle, come on in.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, Lindsay. Vitrina's got the happy hump day. That's right. Wednesday is that magic day. Hey, Carl. Jenny, how are you? Amanda, I'm not sure about that. Sometimes the notifications are a little late. I'm not sure how that works. I've had that happen with some of the channels I follow on YouTube as well with the notifications.
With the notifications coming up late?
Right, that's what they were saying. And if you are on Facebook, thank you. We really appreciate you watching the show. If you can jump onto YouTube, it's a little bit easier. From what I understand, it's quicker and then everyone can see everyone's comments. But if you are on Facebook, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Carl, I'm in a remote location, so yep, I'm on travel. I'm traveling right now, so
Hey,
I'm
Carl, how
on
are
the
you?
sofa.
Yep, Rob's on the sofa. I'm in my office chair and much warmer than Rob. Hey,
Yeah,
Roland, Dawn, Angelique, how are you? Uncelebrity Kevin Hart.
I could literally jump
Hey,
off of the deck and make snow angels, literally.
well, you do have that new maxed out Mac Max Pro Max, whatever it is. So I'm sure you could set that on the ledge. I'm sure it's waterproof, right? And then you can just aim the camera down and we'd love to see you jump into the snow.
No.
We could do visual ITC in the snow, Rob, right?
There's like 2 feet of snow out there. I'm not jumping in that. I might go
Oh,
make some yellow snow, but
Olivia, how are you? Thank you for joining us and taking a chance on us. We are the ITC and Paranormal Podcast. We discuss everything paranormal related with a specialty in instrumental trans communication. Janice, how are you? Christina, we got a full house tonight, Rob.
yep,
Put that hoodie on. Let's get to work.
right?
Julie, you know what? I did have work, and we were going to talk about that because I was at work, but I did have the ability to have the show on in the background. And I did look visually at the SK Mansion, and it is such an amazing house. And I love when Lisa and Rob and Live Paranormal do these live shows. I couldn't join, but I really enjoyed listening, even in the background at work. Carl, no. The assless
Yeah, Josh,
chaps in the
Josh
snow.
wants. Yeah, Josh wants to jump in the snow in his assless chaps to make some snow angels.
Hey, Dave, how are you? Deb? Kanga? Candace, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Good evening to you as well. But we are going to talk about, Rob, I don't know if you have a second, but if you could maybe discuss a highlight or two of the SK Mansion.
So yeah, that in itself, everybody that was here saw the technical difficulties that we had to deal with. So just for us to get that on live and as well as it did, I was shocked on my workaround and for
Right,
that to actually work.
right.
So what I had to do was I had to open up Messenger, Facebook Messenger. I actually shared the window from Messenger and then broadcasted that over Restream. So that's something that I have never even attempted to do, but it worked out great. And so with that accomplishment, without, you know, with all the other technical difficulties that they were having online, I think it worked out great. The
Yeah.
footage was amazing, and as people saw, there was a lot of things that were picked up, and there was some people here. I know Kanga and a couple others were picking up some things there on the house. So we got to see parts of the house that they were picking up on. And then for them to do a crossing over was pretty cool. And
Right.
for us to see Lisa and another investigator do that, that was pretty amazing.
And that's what I'm talking about. Is this show, even though it wouldn't be one of our shows or Life Paranormal without some kind of technical difficulties, but there's always something pretty spectacular that seems to happen afterward, right? There's that
Yeah.
there's that give
Yeah.
and take, and that's what's so interesting to witness and hearing the live ITC stream while Lisa's on location. It was just fascinating, and to see the house and to know where you were running your equipment and just to make that connection. It's an incredible experience. I mean, that's a lot to package when someone's sitting in your own home. I mean, there's a lot going on there. It's really incredible.
Well, then also we did live ghost box sessions. In the
Right.
ghost box, we were picking up a lot of things that happened, especially with the crossing over.
Mhm.
There was somebody that said to pop her. It's talking about the little girl that was killed. It said hit her with a brick and blood and dead. So with that whole session, with it to have that correspondence on the actual event on what happened there in the house, that was pretty amazing. And for me to be doing a remote ghost box session, not in the house, but remotely. So for all of that to coincide was just amazing. I'm just still baffled with what happened. And this isn't the first time we've tried this experiment. I mean, we've done it with other locations also. So
Right. Oh, I think you should leave the hoodie on. They thought you were the
I
thug
might
ghost
need to
boxer.
because the window's open.
It is a degree. Yeah. Keep the hoodie on just in case.
All right.
Illegally blonde. I saw you. Hello. Yeah, that's really interesting, and I think that's a really good move, especially this year. I know that you talked with Rob, Nikki, and Lisa about going on location and conducting maybe a somewhat of a regular show, or as often as they go out and investigate and run these live ITC sessions
Right.
and combine forces with Lisa and the whole team. It's really interesting.
Exactly. I could get really thugged out and throw on a beanie next.
Yeah, I mean, might as well take off the glasses though. You know, it's
No,
kind of
I
cool.
can't. Then I won't be able to see.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
That's what happens when you get old.
Oh. Yeah, Carl says, yeah, we're ready for you to jump out and make some snow angels.
No.
Well, for those of you that joined in for that live investigation, thank you. And Live Paranormal is really excited to put that on. And I know there's going to be some coming up. Is there one or two in February, right? Or maybe it's March. I know there's something. Lisa's going somewhere next month. I, I hope I have that right.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know that we're talking about possibly going to Gettysburg
Right.
during the summer to
Right.
possibly do something out there. Yeah, I talked to Lisa a couple of times today. I just didn't talk to her after because I was just getting ready to go on my trip, and I wanted to give her some time, some downtime. So,
Right.
but she's doing okay. She said it took her until Monday to recoup, so a little while.
Right. SA, how are you? Well, and I guess that was kind of leading me to something I wanted to talk about, Rob, tonight. But we're starting to push the boundaries, or really put to test this ITC communication. And we've known for a really long time that location doesn't matter, time doesn't seem to matter. But
Right.
now that we're actually putting that to the test constantly, and we've done 3 or 4 of these shows, we're they're successful. We're getting we're getting communication every time, and there seems to be an acknowledgement from someone on location live that the ITC is affecting or is having an impact on the investigation.
Yeah.
So and when you think about that, the experiments are endless, really. I mean, bandwidth, right? Bandwidth is the only thing kind of limiting these experiments.
And the possibilities are endless. I
Right.
mean, and like you said, it's limited to bandwidth.
Right.
Case in point, the bandwidth there in the location killed us.
Yeah.
So what did we have to do? We had to rely on cell technology for us to get the live stream going, which that's an feat in itself. So,
Right.
and I was pretty impressed with the outcome, even with the quality of the stream.
Well, and to use Facebook, I mean, I think everyone knows who's watched the show that Facebook pretty much strikes our video or doesn't produce the content on a regular basis for whatever reason, probably because of
Right.
our choices we've made.
Right.
But at the same time, we use that platform, or you and Live Paranormal use that platform to do this live ITC stream through
Right.
Messenger. I mean, I never would have guessed that would have been the medium to which this live investigation took place. So that was really incredible. And as I was watching this at work, I'm going, wow, there's not a lot of latency here.
Right.
It's still working. And so that made me think, well, if we can pull this off on Messenger, and this can be done on Messenger, what other methods and what other means can we conduct live ITC experiments with people from around the world? And
Right.
exactly what we're doing on the Saturday show, but even in a different creative ideas that we could implement.
Exactly. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But like I said, I mean, I'm glad that, I did what I did to get it accomplished.
Right.
And I don't think anybody's ever even attempted to do that. I know you can go live directly, using Facebook,
Right.
but I don't think anybody's ever attempted to use a third party some third party streaming software to do that. Um,
I'm not aware of it. If
no,
someone
not
has done it, I'm not aware of it.
I don't think I've ever any.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't even think anybody's attempted it. Not that I'm aware of.
At least not with your technology or radios. We can at least safely say that. I mean, it hasn't been
Yeah,
done.
right.
And I would say as successfully using your technology. I mean, maybe someone else has done it with an SB7 or something. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible.
I mean, it's possible, but
Sure. But not
I
like
don't know.
this. Not like
Not
this.
like this.
No. Oh, it's just fantastic. I'm excited for the next one as well.
It's going to be fun.
So, were you going to say something, Rob? I was going to read Carl's comment.
No, go for it.
Carl says, so if we were to all focus our intent on a particular place before a session, no one would actually have to be there in person?
In theory, no.
Yeah. Yeah, in theory, no. However, I know. Go ahead.
Because that's just like doing a remote viewing. Nobody has to be there in the location to do a remote viewing.
That's a good point. SA says, I wish we had an after group show to exchange notes. After show group. I said after group show. There's a big difference there, actually.
You know what? We can create something. Give us a little time. Maybe we could do that on a third. We could probably do it on a web page or on a website.
Is it time for a Discord server?
I'm going to say Discord. I mean, I'm going to say I can do it on the parawakening.com.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I have my website.
Deb was reading my mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the show or the group is big enough to warrant that, but I was just thinking of something that was, or a Facebook group.
I mean, we could do a Facebook group.
Sure. That's a good point. Hey, Chantal.
But
Good
that
morning.
would be still focusing in on Facebook, which I don't know if a lot of people have accounts. This way we can do just everything on a different platform.
Right.
and not having to rely on using Facebook. Because not everybody wants to have a Facebook account.
Right.
So that way we can
It's
pull it
true.
offline and just have a, just meeting place. Let me look into it.
Okay. Not that you already don't have enough to do, but when you get a chance, if you could look into that.
I'm going to assign somebody a moderation job to be working on something.
Right. There is no pay or benefits. You'll have the same pay grade as Rob and I. It's 0, but it's rewarding.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's a
Marianne,
lot,
how are you?
there is a lot of benefits to
Sure.
doing that though. So it'll be fun.
Vitrina. Julie, yes. Remember what I said about dream engineering. Oh, Edward, when did you slip into the chat? Hello.
What's up, Ed?
Right. Well, and I guess that we kind of started on this, but I think that's where we're going with this is to, the Saturday show has helped so much, helped us learn a lot, right? We've learned a tremendous amount and there's so much more to learn. And now with these on location live streams being so successful, we're seeing now that there's no limitation. So it's really like, well, what do we do now? We open this up, to the group and to say, well, what kind of bigger experiment can we facilitate? Even bigger than the Saturday show. The Saturday show will always be there.
Right.
But it definitely was a foundation for trying new things.
I mean, and if there's any other groups out there that are listening, and if you want to do a live stream, hit me up. I can help you out. And at least we can get you some exposure.
That's not a bad idea. There might be some paranormal investigative teams out there that say, hey, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Something different or new, or we haven't tried it exactly on our team or an investigation.
Carl, we were talking about that. It
Yes.
could be a possibility, but it's going to take some time because with that, we can, but it's going to take a second camera. It's going to take some work.
If we're also figuring out, Carl, how to screen share, there's some things I want to try the visual ITC, and I have a friend who wanted to try something on our show. And if he can screen share and we can make that work, it might work. But we're working up to that because that would be tremendous.
Or I can get it working on a second computer and have the second computer feed in.
That's a really good idea.
There's a lot of possibilities.
Deb says, what do you know about StreamYards? Rob, you know about that, correct?
Yeah, StreamYard it's another platform, kind of like Restream. I use Restream because it has better audio bandwidth, video bandwidth, and Restream has all the same features. It's just a lot cheaper. Well, I got grandfathered in, so my annual fee is like, I don't know. It's like half of what StreamYard is.
Right.
But StreamYard doesn't broadcast in high def audio, HD audio, which this does.
Ooh, yeah, we need HD audio. Big time. Big time.
That was that was the selling factor. Even if I had to pay a little bit more, I still needed HD radio or audio.
Right. Chantal, good luck at work, and we'll see you Saturday.
Oh, Chantel, before you leave, here I got something for you. Now you can get going.
On the Wednesday show, Rob. Okay. Just slip that in real quick. That's fine.
Had to throw that in there.
Yeah, that's fine. Angelique, can you use a phone for EVPs or do you need an app? Regarding EVP, you can capture EVP on anything with anything that records, I've captured EVPs on. So definitely you can use your phone. There are apps that run recording software. I think the only difference between that and the one that's built in on your phone is the quality at which it records. Most of them are pretty much the same and just use the phone's DAC so you could hear what you recorded.
What's a recorder that you're using? Hold on, I have a cool app for a recorder.
Oh, perfect.
It's called voice recorder, and it records in wave.
So there's
Great.
an app for iPhone that's called Voice Recorder,
Mhm.
and it looks like an old tape recorder. It even has a tape. So and it works and it records in WAV file.
Very nice.
That's the only one that I know of that I've seen that records in WAV.
well,
And it's free.
the iPhone you can record in GarageBand. I think
Yeah, you can record. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you can record uncompressed in that. But really you can capture EVP on anything.
Yeah.
So
But if you want to use an actual app that has full functionality and free, go to Voice Recorder in the iPhone. I don't know if they have it for Android. Let me check.
Angelique, you're on Android.
Hold on, I'm looking.
There's quite a few apps for Android for recording.
Yeah, but some of them they're not very good. But let me check.
Okay. But rest assured, Angelique, no matter what you use, you can capture EVP. So it's more about what you're comfortable with. There are, and I don't want to open this can of worms now, there are certain recorders that have an edge or have something about their technology that will help capture EVPs a little bit easier and sometimes a little bit clearer, but don't worry about it. As long as you're recording, you'll capture something.
Voice Recorder on the Mac. It's made by Smart Mobi Tools. It's MOBI. That one does record in WAV also. You can record in MP3, AAC, and WAV. And that's free also.
Okay, yeah. So Angelique, you're new to investigating beyond visual. No, and you know what? As we know with the paranormal, there's visual evidence, auditory evidence. We smell. Sometimes we smell aromas or perfumes. So all of our senses can pick up paranormal activity. So I'm an audio engineer, and that's probably my favorite part of investigating in ITC is audio. That's what I specialize in, but you're gonna love it. You're gonna have some amazing captures. Just be patient, run your recorder no matter what you're using, and listen back. Review is everything, and you're gonna capture some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
SA, you know what? I don't know. I've run this light for over a year. SA says, what was going on with your lights the other night? I don't know. From what I understand and what it kind of felt like in the room, Lisa said there was a man here, and with the device that I'm building, he is coming through clearly and speaking. And I'm wondering if maybe he was tampering with the lights. This light is never given me any issues. I've had it for years. I've used it for over a year on the show. It never flickered or had any issues until the previous night when Lisa was on the show. Yeah, Angelique, and if you have any more questions, it's such a large topic. I mean, there's so many things I'd love to tell you, but I just can't cram it into the time we have tonight. But just ask questions, and we will always be here to help answer them. And believe me, our family in the audience who's watching the show, they probably know as much or more than Rob and I. So ask questions of them too, and they will help you out. So just ask.
Wait, I used to use a micro cassette recorder years ago. I just did it because it was compact, but some of the EVPs I caught on that were pretty amazing.
Yeah, tape is interesting. The way tape records the pressure wave, the way it's implemented on the tape, and the way you hear it back, especially through those old recorders, it definitely has a kind of an antiquated, eerie sound or feeling to it. But you can get some really good stuff on those micro cassettes.
Really good.
Yeah, Michelle, it was I and Rob knows as long as I've been investigating, and I would say investigating, researching ITC, I've never had issues in my home. I really haven't. And I've got amazing communication when I'm running the sessions. It's amazing. But it stops. When I stop and I turn off the box, I set my boundaries and it stops. I've never had an issue. But very recently, since I've been working on my new device, since we've been doing the Saturday shows, and Lisa identified someone here in the house as a man, that's who's coming through my device.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe that, and it's nothing threatening. I don't feel harmed. There's no issues anywhere else in the house at any time. But I think that light tampering might have just been a way to communicate. I don't know, but it kind of feels like that. It really does.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And that happens to you a lot though, Rob. See, that's what's interesting. Usually you're the one to experiences those things, and I usually don't.
Yeah.
Essay, thank you. Oh, you know what, Don? Yes, I do have the recording and I uploaded it. I'm experimenting with loop back to try and get this live to you, but for some reason, Restream doesn't want to play it at a volume that is acceptable for you to hear. So I'm wondering if maybe I have to post it to Facebook or finally really. Huh?
It's not playing loud enough?
No, it's not. And I mean, everything's wired properly. And I don't know if it's because I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm a guest on Restream. I just don't know. But maybe it'll be my first YouTube video. I'm gonna have to release something at some point. Maybe I just put the audio up just so someone can hear it. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Carl, that's possible. Yeah, it's possible they left. That whoever was visiting left. It's quiet now. I haven't had any problems in days. I mean, it's been very quiet and, no problem.
Could be.
Yeah, Kanga. Yeah, that's the file of who I believe was the male spirit speaking. Nothing, it's very odd. I mean, the communication isn't very coherent. I mean, take your shoes off was one of the and then the other one was I'm driven. He said I'm driven, or it sounded like I'm driven. So maybe I'm hearing it wrong, but the communication doesn't seem very direct or coherent. It's very random communication. So I don't know what to make of that. I could just be hearing it wrong. He might be saying assless chaps for all I know. I don't know.
Janice, were you asking about the SLS camera that shows stick figures? Is that what you're talking about?
Lisa, we are the chat. I'm sorry, the chat. There it is. Okay, Lisa, yeah, we're discussing future experiments. Basically, the experiments we've been doing lately on the Saturday show and the live streams with Live Paranormal, basically opening up a forum or a chat to discuss where else we can take these experiments. Because again, bandwidth over the internet's the only thing that's limiting us. But as that technology improves and, hopefully everything works out where Rob and I can afford the expanded bandwidth as the years go on, that we can present these experiments to many of you worldwide and include more people at one time.
We talked about the SLS camera before, and I built a couple. And yeah, they're just, the software is very flawed. So they're not really meant to be carried around because of the way that the calibration works on those. So when it tries to recalibrate, it's going to create stick figures on anything, any texture, any furniture, anything. So, and that's the bad thing about that. And if you read the software developer kit, and that's the software that everybody uses for the SLS camera, it even tells you have to stand in a large room 6 feet away from the camera, and you have to stand still, calibrate it, and then don't move it, don't touch the camera after it's calibrated. So when people are walking around, the camera is constantly trying to recalibrate, and it can't. So the software is going to start mapping things on things that it shouldn't. So if anything, there's an infrared camera and then there's the grid, which will, there's two cameras on that. If anything, if you're going to catch anything paranormal, you're going to see it in the IR, not on the stick figure camera. So, and why isn't anything showing up on the IR when, if there is something there? Because you would be able to see it on the IR if it's in that light range.
Right.
And nobody talks about that. I've only seen one clip where somebody looked like a shadow person on the IR, and there was nothing, no stick figure formed. It was just it looked like a person standing there,
Right.
and they saw it with their naked eye too.
Yeah. There's a lot of great comments. Roland says, I'm interested to learn more about hertz and frequency overlays for ghost box sessions, 19 hertz and 400 hertz. Yeah,
Yep.
19 hertz. Yeah. Rob, do you want to speak on that a little bit? I may have something here. Let me see.
So that's actually one of the ranges that I was actually working with. I was working in 18 and 19 hertz, 20 hertz. The funny thing with like 18 hertz, well, it's 27, 28 hertz. 28 hertz is the frequency of the brain waves. So, and you can start measuring those if you have a frequency counter. You can start measuring different frequencies. You can touch it, and you'll see what the human pulse puts out. So there's a lot of different ways to see what puts off certain frequencies. So that's why I always suggest getting a frequency counter, one that goes from 1 hertz up to I think it goes up to 400 megahertz. Then there's another one that starts off at 400 megahertz all the way up to I think it's like 9 gigahertz. So I mean the range is so broad. So you can
Right.
capture anything within any man-made frequency or any frequency out there. That can be measured. And those devices, I mean, if you can find them, they're made by Radio Shack or Realistic. You can find them on the internet. I was able to find a couple for like $100 a piece, but the same ones other people were, I saw them for like people were buying them for $200 to $300, and I bought one of each, so that way I was covered.
Right.
And the antennas that they have on them are about 8 feet long, so they're meant to measure a room because you can set it on the floor and the antenna will reach the ceiling.
Right. Right. Yeah, you got those. Yeah, so you're covered. You still have
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
I still have them.
Right. Oh,
That's one piece of equipment I will never sell because I can use them for anything.
yeah, that's true. Actually, you could.
Yeah.
Roland, I pulled up one of the projects I'm working on, and some of the frequency ranges, or at least in this project, I have, and I'll just read them off, and we can talk about them another time because I don't want to get too technical. I think the show kind of rode the fence of getting too technical and boring people, but I have 131 hertz, 141 hertz, 151 hertz, 241 hertz, 272 hertz, 282 hertz, 292 hertz, 302 hertz, 415 hertz, 443 hertz, 513 hertz, 653 hertz, and 701 hertz. Now, those are all below 1 kilohertz or 1000 hertz. So that's kind of just right at the lower range of the vocal frequency, or where we hear a lot of voice. But there's a lot of interesting information or frequencies you can combine below 1000 hertz and above 20 hertz, which give you some really interesting, what I guess I would call amplified stochastic resonance for communication. I'm done talking tech. That's it. Should I do it? Hold on. That was Tech Talk with Joshua, Assless Chaps. I have to conclude that segment. I should have put an intro on it too.
I am the great Cornholio. I'm a gringo. I have no bungo. Bungo Julio.
Maybe that should have been in the outro, and the intro should have been the echo. that is a better outro. Because it wakes those who fell asleep. It's like a wake up. Like, what? Am I hearing Beavis? Oh, Josh is done rambling about tech. The show's back on. Let's do that from now on. I like that. But yeah, Roland, we'll get into that. And you know what? Maybe I just have to talk to you off. Just talk to you off this show and talk with you about this stuff. Because everyone just wants to know if it works, right? No one cares about what hertz it is.
Exactly.
It's like, does it work? That's all that matters. Okay, so we'll hide that. Right, Roland, exactly. And you know what, Roland, also too, it's how you image the sound, not in terms of what Paranormal does with sound imaging, literally imaging meaning visuals. But when I mean sound imaging, it's also an expression or definition on how sound is perceived or how sound is separated through multiple speakers and how that sound image is perceived. And it's really interesting because when you start to pan or move the audio file from your ITC research amongst multiple speakers and separate the frequencies amongst multiple speakers, you can really, it's an interesting experience on how you perceive the communication. It doesn't obviously change the communication. It's just interesting how our human brain perceives it. Sometimes I feel like it's easier, but that could just be subjective.
Just flipping through the comments. No, I'm not ghost hunting in Ohio. Kind of snowed in right now.
Lori says, what to talk about now?
I'm just kind of hanging out. Enjoying myself.
Oh, Rob, this is a good question. Roland, yes, perception is everything.
Yeah.
Michelle says, at Rob, did paranormal activity growing up put you in this field?
Yes.
There you go.
Straight up.
Yes.
No, so I've been, I had a lot of experiences when I was a kid, and I got my, I guess, confirmation of what I was feeling when I was about 12. And then I started doing a lot of studying. Then when I was 18, started working with a couple of parapsychologists out of UCLA. One person both of them worked on the entity case. They actually made a movie about that. So yeah, I got to work with a lot of great people at a young age, and I just stuck with it. Just was around at the right time, right place, right people, and been doing it ever since. So.
And then the highlight and peak of his career is co-hosting this podcast with me.
Yeah.
Don't get him started on it because he'll ramble about how great I am. So let's just change the subject.
Yeah. There's a lot of places here in Ohio that have a lot of activity.
I was just going to say, Beth Rage says, I'm from Ohio, and a house I used to live in there was super haunted.
Yeah.
Hey, Maricel, how are you? So Lori wants to talk about spirit. Is there anything in particular, Lori? Because we are very curious about what spirit's going to do with these upcoming experiments we have. And that could be something to discuss, or if you have a particular topic you want us to address, let us know. That's right.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, there's so much.
Dawn.
We were just talking about a case that we worked on before we even came on the air. And that was probably the most intense
Hmm.
case that, I mean, well, nothing in my lifetime I've ever dealt with anything like that. And it had everything. Everything that you would ever want to, or I don't even think anybody would want to experience what we did, but I mean, it had everything to do with any type of, I guess, activity that people would want to capture on film. We experienced it all. And this was Josh's first and I think only investigation. And Josh, I think, I mean, coming from you, I think it would be, if you talk about it a little bit.
Sure. I've discussed this ad nauseum on previous podcasts, but just in case, I'll try and sum it up. This was one of those situations where I'd been researching EVP and ITC as an audio engineer and in my own private controlled, well, as controlled as I could be, right? My own controlled home, my own controlled, auditory laboratory where I worked and things like this. And I was always curious about investigating. And then I had been to a few places, for an hour or two, but Rob's was the first real investigation I went on. And it was my last. I haven't been out since because I feel like I have a specific calling to work with ITC and equipment. At the same time, I saw enough. I said, okay, the negativity and darkness is real. It does exist. I saw it. It was intense. And being it was my first and one of Rob's most intense experiences, you have to remember that's like me just jumping right into a level 10 investigation. And I enjoyed the learning experience, but I know what's out there and I know what's real, and I don't need to mess with that anymore. I need to stay focused and stay in my lane, but it's real. And I saw the evil and negativity that could exist. And I don't want to say evil and characterize it because I don't know what it was, but there is a darkness. There is a negativity to the positivity out there, and I saw it, and that's all I needed to see. That's just where I'm at. But it did inspire me to go and work even further and push harder in ITC because I wanted to help build that equipment like Rob that could hopefully, help ask better questions.
Yeah. And Josh got to experience a possession, not once, not
Right.
twice, but 3 times
Right.
in a night.
Yeah, Kanga, I agree with you. But obviously I don't need to go out to work on my equipment or experiments. So I don't really need to do that, but I do understand what you're saying. Almost as just life experience to go to other places and know what else is out there, what other energies are out there. But so I do understand what you're saying. Michelle, that location was in Garden Grove. It was a residence. And in fact, the backstory is unfortunately, it's very dark, very sad.
It is very dark. And we didn't know that going into it. I found out about 6 months after.
Right.
What do you mean? Where was my experience with?
Well, go ahead, Rob. I had a question about your experience.
No, go ahead.
I was going to circle back really quick to what Kanga said. Kanga, I probably left out a very important part, but I didn't feel good after I left that house. And none of us did for a very long time. And I think the reason why I didn't want to go back out and continue investigating is because it was distracting me and or that experience affected me or I wasn't concentrating as much on my equipment and things. So I think that intense investigation and the feelings in that house and what was going on was just so strong. I just knew that it was distracting to my life, essentially. and that energy was just something I couldn't manage at the time. So it's an interesting balance, at least for me, to figure out how often I go out and how often I stay in and work on the equipment. But I guess everyone has their own balance, or you have to know what's best for yourself. It's a very good question, though, Kanga. Some really good comments. Right on Celebrity Kevin Hart.
It was funny because I was just talking about that investigation last night to somebody, and um, I just think it was a lot, and even just talking about it, and seeing the fear in the person's eyes talking, um, it was pretty intense. It was pretty intense. And when you provide some of the footage to a producer and they say it's too controversial to put on TV and it's too dark, that means that you got something where they didn't even want to touch it. And this is for a paranormal show.
Right. Right. And Kanga, I want to credit I want to credit all of the paranormal investigators out there. Those of you who are listening, our family listening to the show right now, and to Rob, because as much as I had worked in ITC, I didn't realize it's a whole different skill set and a whole different energy and perseverance and determination when you investigate, because you're not in your environment. See, when I'm in my little sound lab or working with auditory science, whatever the case is, I'm comfortable. I've got a coffee maker, I've got a bathroom, I've got climate control. When you go on an investigation, you're taking yourself out of your element, sometimes to a new place or a new state or city you've never been before. And then on top of that, you have to investigate. And you have to make sure you're rested and make sure you're eating well and you're staying hydrated. There's so many other things to consider while you're staying mentally alert, while you're staying very conscious and aware of the location. So it takes a lot of work, and I don't know if I'm cut out for it. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to know where your strengths and weaknesses are. So I credit Rob and I credit all of you that investigate on a regular basis, that put yourself out there. It's incredible. And I don't think people realize the stamina and the perseverance and the mental alertness that's needed for hours on end when it's quiet, or you're listening to white noise, or you're just walking around in the dark. It's very difficult. So I credit all of you that are doing it.
Yeah. Don, I'll have to take a look at that. I did get your message, but I'll have to take a look at it. There's just so much going on right now. But I'll have to take a look at that location. I don't really go to many locations anymore. I mean, unless I used to go a lot. Kind of backed away from doing that just because I'm working on other projects. So I kind of backed away going to different locations, unless I'm going to go there to help set up for a live stream or to be part of a stream or something like that. That's basically what I'm concentrating on now. Um, I'm not really doing a lot of investigating much anymore. I just have too many other things going on. Uh, Still working on my projects, things like that. So I've just kind of backed away from doing investigations, um, unless somebody really needs some help to find some answers. Because it's not just like going into a location for a few hours to do something. Um, because to me, that's a waste of time. I'm not contributing to help out to financiers. If I'm going to concentrate on a location, I'm going to be at that location for at least 72 hours or longer. But those 72 hours are going to be me there for 3 days almost straight. and that's almost no sleep. Um, and then after that, there's still probably double that time doing research and trying to get the answers that we're looking for. I mean, I spent over 200 hours in a location, um, and I was pulling things up that people were astonished or just like they were blown away. A historian was blown away. Like, how in the hell did you find all of this information? How did you find this? How did you find that? And I was like, well, it's all the investigating I did. And then plus I was searching records. And I was getting things that weren't even on record. Um, and I found a story. I even got recordings of an event that happened, and he said that that was undocumented. There was no police reports on that, and he heard the story, knew the gentlemen that were involved, and I had it all by doing EVP and yeah, that's what I did. It was EVP and Echovox sessions, and I got these names using an Echovox.
Good night,
And these
Edward.
were documented inmates.
Right. And that's what I think is so pivotal right there. And I know that was a turning point for you, Rob, because we've talked about this, but
Yeah.
that experience to receive that very, very intelligent communication, how can it not be? I mean, you can't really claim the source, but you can say that's intelligent because those names weren't told to you. And then you reveal that to,
I revealed it to somebody, and they were like,
right. How
"Wait,
did you,
so how did you find those?" And I had them written down.
he's
I
like, I
had
didn't tell
everything
you.
transcribed, and somebody else had to bring me those names. They brought them on record, and we compared notes with the historian. The historian was there with all the booking records. I had no access to any of the booking records. Those don't even exist because the jail isn't there anymore.
Right.
They were in the archives. But to get into the archives, you had to have access to those archives, which he did. So he brought them out, and we were comparing notes. And he said, "How in the hell did you find these?
Right. Right.
Without having these records, how are you going to even know?" And I played the recordings from him. He said, "And you got this? How?" He was just like blown away with the research that I was doing.
Right.
Um,
And you can claim stone tape theory. You can claim intelligent communication from spirit. Whatever the source, it's undeniable that those names were cross-referenced and no one told you that information. You go, oh my gosh, those were the names of the prisoners. You know,
Yeah.
that's intelligence of some kind. Whether it's conscious or not, it's the stone tape theory. It's, history repeating itself, whatever the case is, that is just an incredible experience. And I know that was a big turning point for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what got me into ITC. I mean, yes, I've always been adamant about carrying a recorder because I have gotten amazing EVP. But as far as using a ghost box, I would laugh. I mean, look at when I met Josh. He had the most
Are you making fun of me now?
no, I'm just saying, like
Oh.
the Ron Ricketts. I mean, you had the mini box.
Oh,
You had a Joe's
love
box.
that.
Or not a Joe's box. You had a Frank's box. You had Andy's, what box was that?
The Radio Spectre circuit is
No,
very
not the
close to my
Radio
heart.
Spectre, the Chrome box.
Oh, the PRD 1000.
Yeah, the PRD 1000 you had. You had some amazing boxes, and I just looked at you and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you bringing these broken radios to an investigation?
Right.
And wouldn't even let you turn them on.
No, you didn't. And I respected you, though, because you were running the investigation. I said, okay, nope, no problem. I brought recording equipment. In the back of my mind, though, I'm like, does this guy know that we can communicate with the radios? I'm like, really? Longtime paranormal investigator? Because you were giving it to me, so I was like, really? But it turned out to be a fantastic investigation. I learned a tremendous amount from you as well.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, how much equipment did we use? We didn't use any. We just used recorders.
Right. Really, that's what it came down to. We did. It came down to recording because the EVPs in that house were so prevalent and happening so often that really that was the form of almost preferred communication in that investigation.
But we would see apparitions. We would see
Oh, yeah.
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
and
that house was
I had freaking K2s, I had millimeters, I had REM pods. Not once did anything go off, and stuff was running right by all that equipment.
Right.
Nothing ever went off.
Right.
So I just packed everything away and
Right.
just started just doing old school investigating.
Yeah, we had the tri-fields, the natural EM meters, everything. Everything was out.
But nothing was going off
Right.
except the only thing we were getting was EVP and freaking seeing shadow people and a little girl running around and
Right.
old lady running around, and it
Right.
was crazy.
Yeah, Brittany, definitely some type of intelligence. It definitely definitely appears that way. Michelle, it was not an abandoned residence per se.
The the owner did not go into the house except to clean it. Nobody lived in the residence for 13 years.
Right. Amy, yes, there was evidence caught on camera, I believe, with the FLIR, which I didn't expect. Rob, you had the FLIR camera at
Yeah, I
that
had the
Garden
clear.
Grove residence?
Yeah.
And we did capture, there is in the back room where the mirror was, that old
Yeah.
mirror, there was
Yeah.
visual evidence. I didn't capture any myself. I know Rob and some other people on the team did. Lots of audio.
Yeah. A lot of audio and video.
Hey, Nora, how are you?
Oh, what brought us to the residence? Actually, a friend of Josh's, a psychic, was called, and she refused to take the case. So
Right.
she called. She called me. She called.
She
Yeah,
called
she called
you.
us,
Right. Send Robin.
and so we took it. I was hesitant to take it, but we took the case. And 6 months later, she told me why she didn't take the case. And I was like, "Why didn't you tell me that? I would have never have even gone in there if I would have known that." Anyway, the owner was doing some uh, she was doing some rituals in the house.
Deb, you know what? We're terrible at transitions. We talked about the SK Mansion investigation in the earlier part of the show. Now we're talking about an investigation that Rob, it was my first and last investigation, really, to speak of, but it's one that Rob directed at Garden Grove. Is directed the right word? I guess you were the director of the group. Yeah. Directed. Sounds weird.
We had so many people come in.
Right.
We had different psychics coming in. We had different investigators come in just to try to validate what we're getting. I just wanted as many witnesses as possible. That was over a 9-month span, 10-month span.
Right. Yeah. It was almost a year. And Michelle, my friend, didn't take the investigation. She claims that when she, I guess you could say, remote viewed or got feelings about the house, and after talking to the owner, that she detected something very sinister, whether it be evil or just a negative energy, and she absolutely just didn't feel like she could have anything to do with it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, if
Yeah.
you can say that.
Well, looking back, it was interesting, but it was a very heavy experience. It was a very heavy experience.
Would I do it again? Probably not.
No, I wouldn't go back to that house. Well, now that things are purportedly better, I guess I would, but an investigation like that again, I don't know. There's other people built for that. That's more their thing, and just too intense. I need to stay focused. But for those of you that are going to those places, I commend you for doing your research there.
We still do the weekend show. I was traveling, so that's why I didn't do it last Saturday.
Purple says Josh dip toe in the pool again? I'm not. Let me know what that means, Purple. Sorry. No, I don't want to go in the pool right now. It's too cold.
You can come out to the snow.
Yeah. What 1 degree? Well, it's got to be 0 degrees by now.
Let me check.
Right.
Checking
Nora?
weather update.
Michelle, it's not a well-known haunted location, but based on what we found out the owner was doing there and the activities of her late husband, it's just the perfect storm for a haunted location. And I say, unfortunately, it's a very sad story. And when Rob says fun, I think it's because we learned a lot and it was interesting in an objective sense, but it's a very sad story. And I don't even know if it's worth repeating right now. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, it's still 1 degree.
1 degree. Okay.
Woohoo, it's supposed to get up to 4.
Oh, okay. Purple says it's okay to jump out in the paranormal. Well, apparently so. Once I start spitting out these devices, I'm sure there'll be a lot more activity. I'm preparing for it. Right, Purple. But what for my first investigation? Wow, just it was the kitchen, everything in the kitchen sink at one shot. Thank you, Rob. Rob's like, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Just go look in the bathtub and look at that bloody body laying in the bathtub.
Right.
And disappears.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I'd love to do that again. Oh, Chantal, yes, it is hot where you are right now. Yes, it is. Same thing for Deb. Well, and Purple, since you're on the show, we were talking about SK Mansion and how in the future the live streaming investigations are just so interesting and fascinating, and so much can be learned from them. And it's just the beginning. Rob and I were saying that the bandwidth is the only limitation for the future. So we're really excited to continue on that.
Wait, you guys should dedicate this Saturday's show. Oh, hold on. Go ahead, Josh, read it.
Mr. Poe says, you should dedicate this Saturday's show to the world-renowned paranormal documentarian Wayne Poe for his birthday on the 30th. Wayne, we will do just that. Tune in this Saturday and we will dedicate the show to you, Mr. Wayne Poe, renowned paranormal documentarian. I did that without echo, guys. That was bold and brave. Yeah, we will, Mr. Poe. So this Saturday, guys, we're having a birthday celebration for Mr. Poe. World-renowned. Oh. That was random. Oh, my God. It's -2 where you are. Right. Okay, Dawn's... Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if anybody wants to watch the replay of the SK Pierce Mansion, you can go on YouTube and you can watch the rebroadcast, or go on to Live Paranormal on the Facebook page and you'll find it there. It's worth watching. It's pretty cool.
It is, and it's still, there's certain things that never get old. And those types of, the production of that show never gets old, because knowing that Lisa's across the country and you're here and you're running your ghost box and you're getting these live responses on location, and people on site on location are validating this. It's just, it never gets old. It's just incredible and fascinating every time. At least for me, it is.
Yeah, and Lisa's saying happy birthday to me during the live stream.
Oh, that is Purple. You know what? Yeah, we should have, Mr. Poe and Rob will celebrate this Saturday, right? We'll have like a birthday show.
Yep.
We should. Life is short. Let's celebrate. Anyone else celebrating a birthday? Anyone in this time frame, we can bring it up on Saturday. But Mr. Poe, you will be the guest of honor. Don't worry. I'm not going to steal that from you. Oh, okay. So Purples is February 2nd. Okay. Oh, Rob, we got a birthday show this Saturday.
We can do some drinking or some smoking on camera. We don't know. Something.
Not at all what I had in mind, but okay. Hey, you know what? It's a birthday celebration.
So bring whatever will
You know, this
whatever you
will
want to
be
drink or smoke. Bring it on.
this is an invitation to our extraterrestrial friends, the spirit world, and our own higher selves to join this Saturday.
Yeah.
Because everyone is welcome at this birthday party. The communication is going to be interesting. Let's wait and see. I bet you it's going to be really cool. Yeah, and Mr. Wayne Poe, you're our guest of honor. And then I guess the next weekend we'll do Purple as our guest of honor. Everyone should get a chance being guest of honor. Rob, we got to figure this out.
All right, we'll figure it out.
This is going to be fun. See Beth Rage. Instead of hats, wear assless chaps.
And Josh will bring the whips.
Okay. I guess it's a birthday party. Yes, Amanda, I did say higher selves. I didn't pardon the pun, but I guess the pun was appropriate.
Say it.
Say what?
Oh,
Wait, what was I supposed to say? Oh gosh.
you
There's no-
missed it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, Sandy's son turned 30 yesterday. Happy birthday to your son. Oh, what a cool age. What a milestone age.
Wait, did I see Chantel back?
Oh, Chantal's okay. She says it's my dad's first birthday in heaven today. I hope I can tell him on Saturday. Absolutely. That's what Saturday's for, to see if we can make that happen. See Beth Rage, thank you. She'll bring TP for our bungholios. Always important.
I am Cornholio. I need tea for my bunghole.
Oh, Saturday's going to be good. I can tell. It's already starting on Wednesday. But Chantal, yeah, definitely. In fact, I know that Sylvia, one of our family members and regular on Saturday, she hears from Stan. And she says that she hears Stan in his voice. And it's been pretty constant and continuous. She hears it on her own equipment and on the Saturday show. So I have reason to believe if it's going to happen anywhere at any time, probably would happen on the Saturday show. Brittany, don't encourage him. This is our Wednesday. Brittany, this is our Wednesday show. This is supposed to be the serious show. See, I have a tie on. That means it's serious, and I can talk about 131 hertz.
Wait, but you know what?
But Saturday's when it gets...
I am the great Cornholio. I'm a gringo. I have no bunghole. Bunghole.
Rob, I'll start doing monster truck commercials live on this show if you keep that up. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. I mean, I'll get into it. I'll get into it. You think that's... Wait till I talk about Gravedigger, okay? No, I'm not going to do it. No, I can't, because then I'm going to be just as guilty as what I accuse you of. So anyway, Essay says, Josh, what is outside your window? My right, your left. So this is my right, your left. My left. I'm assuming, okay, yeah. Bushes are shaking.
It's probably windy out there.
Yeah,
the eagles live in the valley, so
yeah. We've had some wind, so I wouldn't be surprised. That's just wind. I need to watch that movie. Yeah, and Joe says I need to watch that movie. Nope, no Speedos here, Don. Nope. Assless chaps are about as far as I take it.
Wait, I got to share that.
I mean, Speedos are just uncomfortable, right?
I'm going to make another one.
Oh, Julie says... Okay, so funny moment. Chantal says, Rob, did you show Josh the picture I made? Sorry, not sorry.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I did send it to you.
Oh, was that the one you texted me? Was
Yes.
that the one Chantal? Oh my gosh. Yes, I did see that. Oh my gosh. Like, and Rob and I were holding hands. Oh my gosh. Chantal. I did see that. I don't even know what I don't even know what to say. Don't. Rob.
There you go. I just showed it.
It's just a love-hate relationship. At the top of the hour, the show just goes south every single time. It's a part of the formula. Right, on Celebrity Kevin Hart. Yeah, no one believes I'm super professional. I think people think I'm just doing this as a stunt. I really like to wear a tie, but I think people think I'm just a poser. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Chantal.
Yeah, that was funny, Chantel. I was actually at the airport when I got that, and I started cracking up.
Yeah, we're both in chaps. It's an I guess we post it and see what happens. Yeah, see, Brittany, no. Yeah, Rob, put up Brittany's comment since we're not talking about 131 hertz right now. Brittany says, that was the first thing I seen and said when I started watching, oh, he's got on his serious clothes. Look at him acting all. Oh. Brittany, you're the first person on this show to figure me out. And I'm not even going to hide it. You win. I don't have a prize for you, but you win. I really dress this way at work, but I am posing on the show. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'm an audio engineer and I want people, to set our show apart and I wear a tie to work. But yeah, I mean, you figured it out. But don't tell anyone because I don't know how many people are going to watch the replay. And then so going forward, the new people will be like, oh, he's got a tie on. He knows stuff. So just don't tell anyone. But
He has you fooled.
Oh yeah, Brittany, below the waistline, I'm very comfortable right now. You know what I'm saying? Like the shirt and tie, not comfortable. I'm very comfortable below the waistline right now.
You know what this show is? It's a freaking car wreck.
It is. I've seen some other paranormal shows and I'm like, how do they do that for 2 hours and keep it going and keep it like on topic? It's talent. Brittany says dead. I mean, I am pale, but I'm definitely not dead. Yeah, Kanga, you know what? That's a really good point. And I think so much that's how some of the real feeling and emotion and comedy happen on the shows because the Saturday shows, we do deal with a lot of grief and a lot of loss.
We do.
And I think that's why we try and joke and loosen up the environment a little bit because deep down when we meet and we talk about these things we have a lot in common in terms of we've lost a loved one or we're trying to reach out.
And it's funny because when I started the show on Saturday, it was very serious. And I think some people kind of, since we changed it up a little bit, it needed to be done because there was a lot of things that happened on the Saturday show.
Right.
There was a lot of grief, like you said. There was a lot of sadness and pain. So we had to kind of do something to lighten it up a little bit. I know some people like that format,
Right.
but it was taking a lot. It was taking a lot out of myself. It was hard because there was so much energy that I was dealing with.
Right.
And then once we started, we went over that hump when there was a shift in energy. And that's when everything just started happening. More and more communication was coming through. And it was getting harder and harder on me physically. I was drained a lot. Sundays were very hard because I was so physically drained. So I had to lighten it up a little bit and kind of throw in the humor in there to try to break up that and keep the energy positive. Um, and that's why we kind of threw in the little twist. It wasn't really on purpose, it
Right.
just happened. It just evolved that way. And some people see it as a continuation from this show to Saturday,
Right.
which
Well,
there is a little bit, but
Rob,
it's more, I think it's more trying to get communication going on Saturdays along with the humor.
that was my concern, Rob, when we talked about me joining the Saturday show. And I expressed that. And I think
You did.
I've expressed this to the group. I said, Rob, you have a very intimate, very loved show where it's just you and the environment, especially in the old studio and the
Right.
technology we were running and the way you channeled. It was very intense and very special. And I want everyone to know in the audience, it bothered me. And I talked to Rob. I said, Rob, if I come onto the show, it's going to, even if I'm quiet or more or intense with the situation, it's not going to be the same. And Rob, I remember you talked to me. You said, you know what, this is taking a lot out of me. It's very emotional. There's a lot of loss and suffering on the show. And I feel like using your energy and channeling and working that show is almost like maybe some of my energy could help pick that up a little bit. I don't know, but I loved the show you started with without me. Objectively, I loved it. And I listened even at work every second. And I wasn't sure. And there's some times, Rob, when I'm on the show where I don't know if I'm a fit for that show because of what you established, because of the specialness of that show, because of the intimacy of that show. And
Right.
I want to credit you to that. And that still bothers me to this day on that show. Sometimes when there's too much humor, is it too much? Where's the fine line there? I don't know.
But sometimes, so
I
I
just
know
wear a
when,
tie. I don't know.
I mean, I do know when to pick it up and keep it serious, and then I know when to throw in the humor. I've learned that along the way. Um, and sometimes when it's getting too dark, because it does happen, we can't control what comes through. We can't control the communication that's happening. We can just end it. We can stop it.
Right.
But that's why sometimes I will get a little more silly and um, just to break up that dark energy that's coming through. So I've learned a lot in the past year of doing this
Right.
and doing this show. I mean, look, I was doing 5-hour streams, 6-hour streams. 6 hours, I think, was the longest, but they were averaging 5.5 or
Right.
between 4.5 and 5 hours. It was the average. In doing that for that long, by Sunday, I was dead.
Yeah.
Sunday, literally, I mean, I would basically sleep until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I wouldn't go to bed till 6 o'clock, but yeah, I'm still only getting 6 hours sleep. But I was just, my day was shot.
Right.
I couldn't do anything. So, and I needed my time back, and that's when somebody else helped me decide. You know what, 2 o'clock is going to be the time limit. So
Sure.
two,
Yeah.
2 hours is enough.
Right.
So an extra 3 hours was a little much. And you got to remember, it was maybe a 10-minute break between sessions. So I was doing sessions like constantly for almost an hour straight, maybe 25 minutes. And then I'll take a 5-minute break, then 25 minutes, 5-minute break. That's what we're doing.
Right. And for a lot of, I remember when you first started the show, there were some people that maybe didn't know what ITC was, or maybe saw your channel pop up on YouTube and go, oh, let me give this a chance. And when I noticed certain newcomers found out what it was, I put myself in your shoes and I said, wow, that's a lot of pressure, because a lot of people are going, oh, can I contact my dad? He died a few years ago. And then you have this responsibility to tell them, I can't prove anything. I can't guarantee your father's going to come through, but we do attempt it. It's a lot to explain in just a few minutes when someone joins the chat. And so that pressure adds up over time, because you have these newcomers that are expecting maybe not knowing what to expect, but expecting some type of communication from their deceased loved one. And you're going, well, it's kind of like that, but it's kind of not. And I can't guarantee anything, but it does work on Saturday. I mean, it's a lot for you to shoulder by yourself. And
It was very, very difficult to run the show by myself.
but it was excellent, meaning it was tough to you to manage all that. But from my end, it was one of my favorite shows of all time. And that's what was so special before I came on the show, was that quiet intensity of the show. I
Right.
love that. I really do. So it's tough. I love the Saturday show and I love being on it, but there's times when I'm like, well, maybe I can disappear for a little bit and just watch, because I just love what you put together.
Yeah, Carl, I'm going to be doing Blu-ray again. I mean, I could do it now. I mean, I can still do it.
Joe, please fire me, Rob. He's not getting the hint, Joe. Rob, you're doing the Saturday show so well on your own. I just think maybe
I think Josh doesn't want to do the Saturday shows anymore.
I love them in both their formats, and I understand when people say, Rob, I liked the earlier format without Josh. I get that, because I did too, right? It was an amazing experience. But I also love now being on the Saturday show. It's very interesting, because I was a fan and now I'm on the show.
Right.
Interesting.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. But Carl, we're going to bring back, Rob is working on Blu-ray, and I know a lot of people liked the original Blu-ray that was tested back in June of 2021. That wasn't long ago. I should remember that year. And we're going to be testing this year. Will be the year that we really start testing a whole bunch of new equipment and different methods on the Saturday show to see what works.
Yeah, we'll be doing something.
Guys, I hope so. I hope I'm not ruining the experience for you, because, and I guess I'm just complimenting Rob on what he started. So
there'll be something soon. I might do Blu-ray this weekend. We'll see. We will see.
Thank you, guys. But remember, the Saturday show, as Rob said, it's your show.
Yeah, exactly.
So
whatever you guys want.
If you guys say more humor, we'll do our best, even though we're not that funny. And if you want more intensity and quiet sessions and you want me to be more quiet, I'll do it. It's fine. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy Rob asked me to tag along for some good assless chap ribbing. Right. These comments. No, I don't want out. I just listen, Joe, we get a lot of emails about people complaining about what happened to the show. Who's this new guy? Why is it not, this quiet, intense experience anymore? So I just want to make sure if that's what's best for the show and for you guys, that's.
They want me to bring back a dark,
right,
dark ambiance again.
Right.
I think that's what people are looking for. I don't know. I have to think about it a lot. There's a lot of things that need to be. I mean, I have to build another studio. I mean, am I ready to do that yet? I don't know.
Right. Or maybe just we change our moods. Maybe it's I don't know. Or we just keep rolling with it.
We just roll with it.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you guys are the producers. You let us know. So. Thank you, Purple.
I mean, we just have fun. I mean, and I think that's what brings a lot of people watching is the humor. And I think that's why that's why a lot of people watch the replays. You can go to YouTube and watch any of the shows. You can go back actually to when I first started, when it was just me by myself.
Those are some good shows. Yeah.
You can go back and watch the archives. I mean, there was a session there where I was communicating with somebody that was telling us that he was murdered and who murdered him. I mean, that show was freaking intense.
Yeah, those were some great shows. And Michelle, I'm not really taking it personally. I don't know that anyone was attacking me, although it's their opinion. They have every right to. But I think it was Rob did a show for so long, for about a year, that built up this reputation for an intense experience for ITC communication. And I think people miss that. And Rob, I know how much you have on your plate, but it's like what Mr. Post said. Could you do a third show that brings back that intensity and darkness just by yourself?
I
be
could.
Yeah,
I mean, I could.
Right.
But the thing is when would I do it? Like
Right.
on what night?
Right.
It's like, would I do it on a Friday night? It's always a possibility.
Right. It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It's a tremendous amount of work. But I agree. I do miss that. I miss that.
I would need a moderator to moderate the chats. I mean, that's the hardest part. When you're doing a live stream like this, and because everything is done by questions, like when I'm doing the show by myself, so I have to keep up with the chats, make sure I don't miss a question. So I'm scrolling up and down, trying to concentrate on what's being said, so there's a lot. So I'm multitasking. And sometimes people get upset because I miss a question. And it happens. You have to think, you're trying to run a ghost box session, you're trying to run the show, you're trying to monitor the chats.
Right.
There's a lot going on. So it's just hard to produce by yourself.
It's a lot of work. And Beth Rage, I don't know if you're serious or not, because you said, are you taking applications for help? But I know going forward, as we expand the experiments, we would love to have anyone involved who wants to help or do their part, or maybe you're just interested in contributing to something. I don't know. But it's, how we do things. It's open forum. So if you have any ideas, let us know. But yeah, going forward, we would love to have anyone who could get involved.
And I think, what we're going to have to do is set up I would like to do a Zoom with everybody that's interested in getting in on the Zoom. I think I still have my Zoom account. Live.
Our Wednesday show is kind of just a meeting.
It's a free for all.
Yeah.
Right now, when we don't have guests, it is a free for all.
Right.
And that's fine. I like the open forum.
Right.
Open forum format. Because there's no topic off the table. We can bring up anything. And that's what I like about it. When there isn't a guest, we could just do open forum.
Well, Rob, how do I say this? We're all family here. We're all friends. But
exactly,
I'm just going to refer to the chats in this way. Everyone who's been in the chats for this show or the Saturday show has experience that's relevant, that's important, that we're learning from. So it's not, I don't always feel like we're teaching a class. I feel like we're all equals and we're all sharing experiences. I've learned so much from everyone here about spiritualism, mysticism, about things I didn't know about. So it kind of feels like a Zoom meeting every week.
No, but here's the thing. We're all part of the circle. Right. This is our circle for
cogs in a wheel. Yeah.
For spirit communication. It took a while for us to build the circle. The circle now is established. And once that shift changed, that energy shift changed, it was noticeable, and things went from like 0 to 100 overnight. Literally saw it happen on the show.
Right.
And I've never seen that happen before or ever experienced anything like that. That was crazy.
Constant progression and continuity from Saturday to Saturday.
Yeah.
The everyone asking for whoever they wanted to ask for, whether it be family members, friends, and that communication coming back in their voice. time and time and time again. And it kept
Yeah.
expanding and kept growing.
I mean, like I said, we can do like a Zoom, just a fun show, just so everybody can see everybody, and we can just sit here and chit chat and just talk. That'd be fun.
Thank you, Nora. Nora says there's a connection you two have. I felt it since you've both been on. I do believe there was a reason. I don't even want to say for the show, but that Rob and I were to come together and do something like this. There was a reason. We've talked about it at length.
We
And
talked about it.
synchronicities lined up pretty heavily. Yeah. And Brittany says, this is a reference to the darkness, the discussion on the darkness. Brittany says, but also think about what's best for you at the same time. Dark may be interesting, but not so good spiritually, mentally, physically. I can see where that can be a challenging decision. Right. Right.
But it really,
Good point.
nothing really. Oh, I can't say that.
Hey, Pocket Watch.
Nothing really happened per se to me. But honestly, maybe some of the darkness affected somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that could be part of something that could have caused some a pretty bad tragedy. It could have been one of the contributing factors to it.
Right.
Now looking back. But anyway.
That balance is a good point that you bring up, Brittany. It really is. And, I noticed that even when I was at work with Lisa being live on location at the SK Mansion. And Lisa is, you don't mess with Lisa. She's in charge wherever she goes. The spirits know that. But just still going into the unknown, although Lisa knows a lot about the location through her psychic abilities, still going through the unknown and not knowing when you cross that line, or not having any advance warning. You can cross into that darkness and not know it. Or it might be
it happens in an instant.
Right. And, just thinking about that as Lisa was walking around the house so fearlessly. And I think about that all the time. It's a serious bromance. Thank you, on Celebrity Kevin Hart. Apparently Chantel thinks so too. Because Beavis and Butthead were in assless chaps holding hands. And I was asking to restock the toilet paper. Very interesting perception you have of us, Chantel. Oh, gosh. Woo. Right, Carl.
I am Cornholio. I need pity for my bunghole.
I can do an impression on Saturday. I'll wear my t-shirt so I can pull it over my head. If it's needed. If it's needed. I don't know if we're doing intense Saturday or funny Saturday. You guys let me know. But I'll be ready.
Yeah, we thought about doing the show Saturday. It was kind of last minute, but I think I was a little too drunk. It wouldn't have been a good show.
Rob's texting me about a half hour before we'd normally sign on. He's like, let's do the show. And I'm at work and I planned on staying longer at work. I'm like, what? Wait, what's going on? What are we doing the show? And then I didn't hear, I think you did text me back, but then I didn't respond. I don't know. I had a moment of panic though. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be home in a half hour, going live, doing Beavis impersonations on an ITC show. How do I tell that to my boss? So we use these broken radios to contact the dead while I have my shirt over my head acting like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. You're fired, Josh. That's very interesting, but you're fired. That's how that conversation goes.
Oh my God. I was pretty hammered.
Yeah, I think you were. I mean, a half hour notice to put on a live streaming show with the technology and everything required. It's like, oh my gosh.
We had plenty of time. I could have got everything set up.
Yeah, you are quick at that. I tease, but you are good at getting that set up quick.
I don't know if it would have worked all right, but
right.
And I might have been slurring a little bit.
Yeah, even your text messages are slurring. Let's do the show. Like I was like, wait, what? What do we do? Josh, let's do the show. Are you ready? In like 15 minutes. Like, no, I can't leave work in 15 minutes. I was excited though when I thought there was a chance we'd have a show. I got to be honest, I was excited.
It was my fault.
You know what, Kanga? He says my left ear is bright red. My ears get red. I don't know what that. I don't know if it's changing.
He's embarrassed. That is
But
so.
yeah, no, my ears
His
have
blood
always,
rushes from his ass cheeks to his ears.
right. It's a symptom. Ear ass cheekitis. Ear ass cheekitis. Assless chapperitis. Figure it out. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Like it feels like you're missing a gym day when we don't have the Saturday show. It definitely feels like something's missing. Yeah, I get home from work and yeah, it's just weird. Play a Charlie Brown voice. Just seen guy who did his voice dead at 65 suicide. Oh, I don't. Geez, Rob, do you have a Charlie Brown voice?
Do I? I can. No.
Okay.
Not right now. I could get one.
My left, they're both red, but the left is glowing red. Yeah. They've always done that. I have big ears that are sensitive to changes in
Josh is turning into a real boy.
right. I'm growing up. I'm 12. Oh boy. Yeah, Joe's just like weird. Yeah, it is weird, Joe. Literally everything about this show is weird. Somebody got to have this show. Yeah.
See, and I'm on East Coast time. It's 12:38 right now.
Oh, that's right. I'm looking at the clock. It's thinking it's 9:30. It's 12:30 where you are.
Yep.
Well, it's your call when you want to wind up this gem of a show. I mean, I don't want to break our flow or anything, but it's your call.
No.
I am the great Cornholio. I'm a gringo. I have no bunghole. Bunghole.
You indeed do have a bunghole, sir. That's why you're asking for TP. But
And
we'll
you're a
talk
gringo.
about that on Saturday.
And you're a gringo.
On Celebrity Kevin Hart. The comment of the evening. Josh is finally getting some color. Yes, it takes blood rushing through my body to see that I'm alive. It is true. And you can tell by my ears on Celebrity Kevin Hart. It's true. Yeah, everyone's ready for bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do a midnight snow angel.
So this Saturday, though, Rob, we're back on track. What do you
Yeah,
think?
Saturday
Okay.
will. No, I'm still gonna be in Ohio.
Well, I mean, will there be a Saturday show though?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me if you're on the
But-
moon or underwater. I just want to do the Saturday show.
A week from
I
Saturday.
just want to do the Saturday show.
A week from Saturday, it might be tough, but
Week from
Alright.
Saturday.
on the 5th.
Right. Oh, we're going to be on Sophia Temporelli's show on Saturday, the 5th.
I never booked it. I got to reach out to her.
Oh.
Oh no, I'll be on a plane.
So how are we going to do her show? Oh, you're going to sound all hoity-toity like, hey, Sophia, yeah, flying across the country calling from a plane right now. I'm really busy. I mean, is that the hoity-toity thing you're going for or what?
Or I might be in a car driving home.
Oh, okay. That's not as hoity-toity. I think you should do
Right.
the show from a plane. That would,
Right?
Rob, do the show from a plane. That would be great. That
That
would.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. Well, everyone, I think we might be. I don't know, but we should be. Maybe not. But kind
What?
of doing Sophia Temporelli's show, the ghost host.
I got
On
to
the
book
5th.
it. I got to call up her dad. and book it. I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay. And we have to behave on that show.
Oh yeah,
Like,
we're
we have to be
expecting
normal.
over with a snow this week.
Okay.
This weekend.
Okay. Yeah, we have to be normal on that show, Rob.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Do it from the plane and pass my phone around for people's input. I'll
God.
interview people on the plane. What do you think about ghosts?
Well, you do have a captive audience. I mean, they can't go anywhere. As
Right?
much as they want, as badly as they want to ignore you, they're gonna be like, just talk to them and just say anything, get rid of them.
You know what we should do, Josh? We should do a remote from 3rd Street Promenade. You and I go to 3rd Street Promenade,
Oh, I know where this is going.
and then we can just. I could film you, and
Yeah,
you can
I know
ask-
where this is going. Right.
and you could just ask questions. We'll have like a set of questions to ask people, and just get the response.
Right.
And I'll get it on camera, and then we can share it on here.
And the audience's question to me is, are they tight? Do they cut off circulation to the groin? Be like, no. Do you have any questions about the radio? Do they
we
come
could
in other
go-
colors?
We can go to 3rd Street Promenade.
Do they have
And then
tassels?
from there, walk across the street and go onto the pier, Santa Monica Pier.
Right. Right.
That'd be fun.
I love all of these ideas, Rob. They're just great. I can't wait. I'll do it. If you're going to stream live, we'll do it. And we'll see what type of reaction we get.
Oh, and we can dress you up in assless chaps and go to Venice.
But that's what I'm talking about. No one's going to ask questions about the technology and be like, well, do they come? Do they go above the knee? Can I get some like assless chap shorts, or do they have to be? Those are going to be the questions. I don't want those to be the questions.
They're going to ask you to model them.
Right.
And they'll ask if they can take pictures of you and your assless chaps.
Why is that guy holding an old Panasonic radio and assless chaps? I don't know, but they look fantastic. See what size they come in.
Or if we get really, if you get really brave, I'll take you down to West Hollywood and you could
Nope, not that
walk
brave.
around in your assless chaps.
Not that brave. Rob, I have curly hair. And assless chaps? No.
Oh, you'll have a target on your ass, literally.
Yes, that's exactly why we're not. That's exactly why we're not doing that. No. 3rd Street. 3rd Street. Someone would see a guy scanning a radio in the assless chaps and just be like, whatever. But yeah, West Hollywood, no, not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Purple says, bring out the olive oil.
That would work in West Hollywood.
Whoa.
He would have volunteers rubbing on his ass in Hollywood, West Hollywood, I should say. We'll take him out there on Pride Week. How's that? In assless chaps. We'll put him on a float. Me and Josh on a float. Him strutting his assless chaps.
That's why the YouTube algorithm has no idea what to do with your channel. Like, do you see now why we're like, it's like, no, it's because the topics are just like, the algorithm's like, I don't just put him over the side. We don't know what to do with this channel. It's because of this.
Look at what Deb said.
Right. Not a problem for you, Deb. Not a problem for Rob filming and laughing.
It would be a problem for Josh's nicely waxed assless, wearing assless chaps.
Yeah. I have a feeling the core message of ITC would not be conveyed properly in a situation like that. I mean, Rob, they think I'm just a stripper because I have a radio. They're like, oh, he's going to do a dance.
Oh, here's a better
No,
one.
I'm not.
We'll dress Josh up as a fortune teller in assless chaps, telling fortunes on 3rd Street Promenade and the pier.
And we already know they play along on the other side and they tease back. So it's going to come from both sides. Oh, it's going to be a good experience. For you, read your fortune. Michelle says, do they still have the cat that reads your fortune on 3rd Street?
I haven't been to 3rd Street Promenade in years, so I don't know.
I have so many questions about that. Right, see Beth Rage. See, and now I understand the synchronicities, the tie, the shirt, the assless chaps, the radio, Third Street Promenade. I see where you're all taking this show. Now, I said you guys are the producers. Maybe pull it back a little bit, right? Just wheel it back a little bit. Maybe not, monetize me. Maybe we can just talk about ITC. But creative, I like it.
We could have a credit card reader in Josh's ass. We could take some tips.
An aggregator on site to process cards. I mean, I guess these two subjects haven't been combined with ITC before, Rob. I mean, it is something new, albeit at my expense. And when it's a paranormal experience, so definitely worth asking, right? Well, and I don't think there's anyone new watching right now. But if you watch us on replay and you are new, please join us for the Saturday show. It's going to be a much better experience than what we've derailed here. But we want you to join because the Saturday show, if you want to ask questions, that is the time to do it. You can ask questions during the show and we'll listen back to the sessions and review the evidence. And it's fascinating. See, Rob, I'm trying to save the show by telling them there's something better to look forward to. You have to give incentive to stay on this long and not have anything to talk about.
Oh my God.
Yes, Mr. Poe, we'll make sure that handicap services are available on site. And we will have a card reader that is offered in Braille in multiple languages. Thank you, Mr. Poe, for...
And the way that we'll imprint the Braille in his butt is by a studded paddle.
Rob, do you remember when I used to do the lectures on this show for an hour about reverb? And now we're here. I never thought we were going to get here. Yes, Kanga, there will be. Yes, I think there will be an experiment on Saturday. Thank you for keeping us on track. I think there will be an experiment on Saturday.
Yeah, we can do an experiment.
Okay. We're going to create an EVP. Yeah. Okay. The other comment of the night. Deb says, that fast swipe has got to hurt and create an EVP. I'm most positive the noise generated from that card swipe will create enough stochastic resonance to create an EVP. It'll be the first card aggregator butt swipe EVP ever. So it's a butt swipe EVP? That's an instrument, the butt swipe.
Yep.
Right?
That's a new mode, the butt swipe.
The butt swipe EVP.
Move. Yep.
And we have assless chaps mode. This is how you get people into ITC. Then maybe that's what we've stumbled onto. People are like, what's ITC? I don't believe in it. It's false positives. Oh, they're talking about assless chaps. Okay, I'll watch the show. Maybe this is what we have to do. And maybe we have to do a card aggregated butt swipe machine that has, like an old card. So it makes that sound and it gets stuck and then it creates that. Yeah. I mean, Rob, it's something new.
Yeah.
Right, Roland. And Roland's son is studying to be an electrical engineer, so he's not going to want to help with this, but we could use his help. Son, I need you to help my friends with an experiment. Yeah, Dad, what's going on? So, it's going to take a card. No, it's not going to work. Oh, no. We're beating around the bush, and SA just cuts right through the center. Just right through the center. Don't put that comment on the screen.
Swipe down, not up.
Right. On Celebrity Kevin Hart. Right. But it can't be the new with the chip reader. It can't be the chip reader. We have to swipe. It's got to swipe.
No, you just insert card here.
Yeah, SA, you're right. Rip off the Band-Aid. You're right. I don't want to hold back the show. Mr. Post says we have to contact Meatloaf on Saturday. Yes, we lost Meatloaf. We've lost so many people this year. Oh, we have no control if he comes in or not, but maybe he will.
If he comes in,
it might be his type of group. You know what I mean? Like,
might be.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think we're going to call it.
Thank you all for joining us and just contributing with your ideas for the future, laughing with us. It's always a good time. Life is stressful, and I can tell you that Rob and I love meeting you all here Wednesday and Saturday. So be here this Saturday, 11:45 Pacific Standard Time, 2:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And watch out for the street cam coming up soon. We'll be strutting Josh around 3rd Street Promenade, Santa Monica Pier, Venice, and the last stop, West Hollywood.
Who's going to do the talking if anyone from work sees me? Because I do work in and around the area. So
we'll put on a latex mask on you.
You know what? Yeah, with I'll have to mask up based on so you know what? Oh, my hair will give it away. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just cut a hole out so your hair will just be sticking out of the latex mask, and you'll be good to go. And you'll wear your tie. There you go.
Yeah, I'll be good to go.
You'll know it's you.
That's right, Rob. I'll be good to go. Yeah, I'm going all right. Night, you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
See you Saturday.